Boy, it's great to be with you, and I would love to welcome you, our CCMP family, and those of you who are perhaps not members of our church, or maybe you watch this on a regular basis and you have never been to our church. And I just want to tell you that you're a part of our family. Whether or not you're able to come to church, or if you're a member of our church, you are a part of the CCMP family. And I'm just so glad to be able to come. I appreciate Ken coming out every week, using his time and investing in us and in you, and being able to make this video for us so we can come visit you. And just really glad. It's a beautiful day here, and it seems like, the weekend with the storm and Hurricane Irma and just so much. It was a stressful time. It was a turbulent time. It was a time of concern and anxiety and perhaps fear. And I know that you probably have been touched by that weather situation, and perhaps family, friends in Florida or in the path of Irma. And it was almost a surreal weekend in many ways. And I'm glad you've decided to join us today. I'm glad we get a chance to come visit you. We had a great Sunday, had a great weekend at church, and as we always do, God always blesses us and encourages us, and we had a great day at church. And we're in the middle of our series. Our current series is about young David. And we talked about, first of all, God choosing David as a little shepherd boy, a young shepherd man out in the fields watching the sheep. And then Sunday we talked about the story, the greatest underdog story of all time. And we talked about some notable upsets in the sports world, and many of you gave us some input on that. But David defeating the giant, slaying the giants, and standing up because his heart was passionate about there's a cause. The God of Israel will not be mocked on my watch. And David ran toward the giant, and God gave him the ability to slay him. We talked about the giants in your life. And they may not be in a 9.5-foot giant, but they're giants in your life that you're facing, and perhaps today. And just like David did, he trusted in God, and he depended on God, and he really relied on God to help him and deliver him in that battle with the giant. And this Sunday will be the last sermon in our series on young David, and we'll talk about friendship. We'll talk about a wonderful, unique relationship that God gave David and Jonathan, and how that all worked, and some really neat dynamics from 1 Samuel chapters 18, 19, and 20. This Sunday, I hope you can come. As always, we have some special things planned for you this Sunday, and I hope you can be here. It's going to be a great day. A couple things coming up this week. Saturday night, we are hosting a banquet, and it's called the Night of Hope. And we're working with Farrell Burton and the ministry he has in Nicaragua, and the Hope Project, and it's a fundraiser for that ministry that we partner with. And 5 o'clock Saturday here at the farm, at the big barn. I hope you can come. I'd love to invite you to come. If you come and want to bring a dessert, that would be helpful. If not, just come and enjoy yourself. And then next weekend is our final place weekend of 2017, the 22nd, 23rd of September. We would invite you and encourage you to come to Place. If you've never been to a Place weekend, it's Friday night, Saturday morning. Doesn't take a lot of time. You'll love it. There's food, and it'll just be a life-changing event for you. So this Sunday, I hope you will see some of our staff and let them know you're coming on the 22nd and 23rd. Then our Fall Festival's coming up next month. Just a lot of things going on. The fall is an exciting, full of life time in our church, and your life with your kids and school and ball games and schedules and events, and so just a great time. And so I know the fair is going on this week, the Cabarrus County Fair. Perhaps you've already been out and enjoyed that, and I'm trying to get over there some night with my wife, and I always love to be a part of things like that in the community. But October 28th is our Fall Festival, and you'll be hearing more exciting things about that. But man, what a great time. I want to encourage you to be here Sunday. We're excited about Sunday. It's going to be a great time together, as every Sunday is. And again, thank you for joining us today. I'd like to share with you briefly, before I get ready to go down to our senior adults meet every Wednesday at 10 o'clock, and this morning we're having biscuits and gravy. I think Miss Sue is doing biscuits and gravy, and any Wednesday you're free at 10 o'clock, I'd like to invite you to come out. And the name of our group is The Classics. And we had some input and discussions, and so they have settled on a name, and the name of the group is the CCMP Classics. And so we'll be meeting at 10 o'clock today with the Classics, and try to find a Wednesday you can get away and come out and join us. It's a really good time with a wonderful group of people that represent our church so well. Matthew chapter 25. I want to read these verses. This is a parable, and a parable is a story which it teaches us a lesson, a truth, a principle. And so this story that's told in Matthew 25 is very interesting. It's about a wedding. It's about participants in a wedding, and it's about brides and grooms, bridegrooms and brides, and it's about this whole dynamic that's pretty cool, pretty interesting. Matthew 25, 1 through 13. And I want to, as we start, I want to remind you, and I do a lot of weddings. Had a wedding a couple weeks ago. I love weddings, and there's special times. And here's the thing about weddings. Weddings are filled with those special moments, those special times. They're almost like time, photo times. When they're moments. You've got special moments in a wedding. And I was thinking about this passage, and I was thinking about weddings that I've done, and there's that moment when the processional is being played, and the grandparents are ushered in, then the parents are ushered in, and then you have the groom is usually up front with the pastor and the best man, and then here comes the bridal party, and here comes the maids of honor, and then here comes the groomsmen, and they all march down, and then everybody's in their place, and they're getting ready for that moment when the bride will be revealed. And so everybody's in their place, and the music is about to stop and prepare the bridal song as she enters, and there's this moment, this suspense. And then usually the mothers will stand, and then the congregation will stand, and everybody faces the back, and it's time for the entry. Well, that's a really neat moment. It's a special moment. And here's the thing I was thinking about in regards to this parable. What about if you were at that wedding and everybody's in their place and that suspense is building and it's ready for that moment and you miss it? You have to go out to get a call. You have to go out to do something, and you miss the moment. That's what the parable is about today. So let me read this. Matthew chapter 25, very interesting. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be like the 10 virgins which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. And 5 of them were wise, and 5 were foolish. Those that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. So they had their lamps, and if you remember the old lamps, they had oil. You light that like a lantern. And then the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps. The wise ones thought ahead. They made preparation. They were prepared for that special moment. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. So here's the brides, they're waiting. And they're waiting on the bridegroom, and so they're sleeping. Well, the 5 wise prepared oil in their lamps because they knew the bridegroom could come at any moment, but the 5 foolish brides did not have oil, and they were not prepared for that moment. At midnight there was a cry made, "Behold, the bridegroom comes. Go ye out." He's here. He's here. The moment is here. And the brides heard this call. And there was this exciting time. And so the call was made, "He's here. Are you ready?" Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps, and the foolish said unto the wise, Oh, give us your oil, because our lamps don't work. We can't light them, and it's dark, and we need light, and we don't have oil. And so they asked the wise for oil. But the wise answered, saying, Nope, can't do it, lest there be not enough for us and for you. But go ye rather to them that sell, go buy your own oil. We made preparation. There's not enough for all of us. This is ours. We have planned ahead. We can't give you our oil. You're on your own. Go get your own oil. And while they went to buy, so they ran out, they're trying to find oil for their lamps, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went with him to the marriage. Those that were ready went with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. That's a sad passage. The door was shut. Afterwards came also the other virgins, saying, Lord, let us in. We're here. We're ready now. Let us in. But he answered and said, the Lord answered and said, Verily I say unto you, truly I say unto you, I know you not. Verse 13. Watch therefore, for ye know not whether the day or the hour wherein the Son of Man cometh. Now here is your application. One day, Jesus will come back. One day, Jesus will come back for us. Here's the question. Just like those bridegrooms, or those brides were preparing and getting ready for their marriage, but they didn't prepare well. They neglected to prepare. They didn't have the oil. They weren't ready. And the door was shut and they missed it. Watch therefore, for ye know neither the day nor the hour wherein the Son of Man cometh. For the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling. So that's the purpose of the parable. The story is all about this. There were 5 brides that prepared, and they were ready for the wedding. And when the groom came, they were there. And there were 5 that were unprepared. And the moment came, and they missed the moment. Friends, we're told in the Scriptures that Jesus came and lived and was buried and was killed and buried and rose again and went up to be with the Father. And He left and He said this, I'm coming back. I'm coming back to get those that are ready. I'm coming back just like a bridegroom to receive my bride. I'm coming back. Will you be ready? And I'm reminded when I read the phrase, the door was shut. Just like when the ark. God closed the door of the ark and nobody else could get in. It was too late. One day, I believe the Bible teaches that it will be too late for those to receive the grace of God and be prepared in their hearts to go to heaven. I believe that now is the time to get ready. Go get your oil. Get what you need. Be prepared. Just in case. You know what, friends? It could be today. It could be. It really could be today. Jesus could come back today. Are you ready? That's the lesson of Matthew chapter 25. We know that Jesus is coming back. No man knows the hour. You know why I believe nobody knows? Because we need to be ready. We need to be ready today. If we knew the date, then we could run out right at the last minute and prepare ourselves. But that's not what God wants. God wants us to be prepared now. Don't miss that moment. He's coming back, and it could be today. Thanks for listening today. I hope you can come Sunday. It's going to be a great weekend here at our church. We love you. Thank you for joining, and you have a great day.